right, guys, episode 4. We're already a month in. Can you believe that? Time flies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, crazy, right? We done what 5? If you include the spoiler cast, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
Jeez.
so let's get right into it. Introductions. I'm Sebastian. As you can see, we're in a new layout. I feel like this will be a lot easier for me in terms of editing, but also I think it looks pretty. I think it looks really good. I think we look a lot more professional now. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I agree.
Let me get my notes out. All right. So
James
let's start
with this absolutely professional profile picture. Although I don't know if you'll see that in the final cut. I don't know.
All right, let's do
Hopefully.
let's do introductions. So let's start with Dory.
I am Dory. I go by she/her pronouns.
All right, Fran.
Hey, I'm Fran.
Nice. James
Hello.
and Mitch.
Hello, I am Mitch. That
Alright.
is all.
Hear me roar.
All right. So what are we currently playing? Let's start with Mitch.
I've kind of been hopping between a lot of things this past week, but I think the main new thing I've been sinking a lot of my time into is Hyperscape, which just came out
Really?
on PS4 this past week. Surprisingly enough.
Nice. I didn't know you were playing that.
Oh yes.
Is that it?
But yeah, I'll save my impressions for when we actually get to it. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
that's just me.
All right. James, what are you playing?
I'm also playing Hyperscape. I've been playing a bit of the Avengers beta, which we'll also get into, and more Fall Guys, Fall Guys is really good,
It
guys.
is.
Seriously, play it.
Yeah, definitely. Fran.
Also been playing Hyperscape, and then been playing the new Final Fantasy 14.
Fire. Definitely
Uh,
fun game.
Adds like all the new Nier Automata, like Raid and all that.
Cool. Dory.
Hello. I have been playing Arkham Asylum because I've never played it before, and I have been. I just played about an hour and a half of the beta, which we'll be talking about for Avengers.
Oh, you're gonna love Asylum, man.
Nice.
Oh, and I got to Act 3 of Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did anyone
I
else
just
get to
got
Act
to it.
3 yet, or just Dory?
Still
Just
not
Dory?
James, how far are you in?
You can't see, but I'm grimacing right now.
Photo mode. 60 hours.
I'm still towards the end of Act 2.
All right. I played the Avengers beta today. I beat it. I think it doesn't really have an ending, so I don't know if I did or not. I'm like,
Quote unquote beat it. Yeah.
I think I'm the second last chapter of Halo 2. I was hoping to beat that yesterday, and I didn't. But oh well. I played Fall Guys on Steam. Really fun. Really addicting.
Yes,
I'm gonna put like 50 hours in that game probably.
definitely. I'm already near the end of the battle pass.
Oh yeah, I played a little Fall Guys. I had a night where I played Fall Guys with people for about an hour and a half. So I've
Have you
done
come
a little
around
bit of
yet?
that.
Nice.
You
What's
come
that?
around?
No, I haven't gotten a crown yet. If that's what you're asking.
No, have you come around yet? Are you enjoying it more?
Oh, I see. I thought that was like some sort of like linguistic thing that you were like saying. No,
Yeah.
I still feel about the same. I still like it. Like if people invite me to games, I'll be up for it for sure. I don't see this like a big deal. But yeah, I don't. But I won't play it by myself. I'm playing too many other things for one thing.
Right.
Sure.
And I'm also playing Darksiders Genesis. I'm putting playthrough of that on my personal YouTube channel. I'm also going to start Ori soon. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And what else? No, wait, I still got to finish Gears 5. I got a busy schedule in terms of gaming. All right. Next topic: Avengers open beta impressions. Let's start with James.
Sure. So I watched I edited Mitch's preview of the game, and I honestly, after playing it myself, I agree with most of what he said, pretty much. Like the gameplay was the sort of standout part for me. It was the gameplay was honestly, it was better than I was expecting it to be. I didn't have high expectations for that, but it does. You can see that sort of God of War kind of feeling rubbing off quite a bit. So like yeah, the gameplay is a lot of fun, but I think it falls flat pretty much everywhere else. Like the the dialogue is absolutely atrocious. It's honestly like just absolutely terrible. Like one of the lines, right? I'll bring up an example here. In the I think this was in the demo that they showed at E3 like in 2019. But in the first mission, one of the lines Taskmaster says is I've learned a few tricks since we last met, which is pretty much like indicative of like the whole the dialogue writing in general. Like it's pretty nuts how a game of this high standard, is like really. It feels like they didn't put a lot of effort into that aspect of it.
Right. There's another line that what Dory says on the bridge. He's like, "You're not mighty like I am," or something like that.
Yeah,
I thought it was
that
cringy.
one.
Yeah, cringy.
That one caught me off as well.
I laughed a little bit. I was like, okay, seriously?
Yeah, it kind of feels. I mean, if the writers are actually going about it smartly, it sort of seems like one of those things where it's like they'll open in the really stereotypical. Oh, okay, everyone's sort of like up themselves, and it's like another day on the job. And then obviously once that happens, they all just sort of mellow out a bit, and the writing mellows out a bit.
Yeah.
Too. So I hope that's what happens. But
it does kind of feel in a way like they were going for that thing where it's like, it's comic books and everything, so they were going for that sort of like cheesy dialogue. But I don't know, man. It doesn't feel like they pulled it off at all.
Plus, you wouldn't know Taskmaster was part of like Shield unless you like knew the comic books. It's kind of weird that they kind of just introduced that. Like,
yeah, I had no idea.
The whole backstory. Yeah.
But I didn't know he was part of it either.
Just like another
in the game.
Yeah, but just like another quick example as well of that as well, using Taskmasters, like at the start of the fight with Black Widow, he's like they do this really weird dialogue thing where it's so obvious they're trying to shoehorn in an explanation for like his ability to like learn your moves and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like they try and sneak it in there in dialogue, but it's so obvious that they set up that whole dialogue just to explain that to the player.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's really bad, and it's not helped either by the voice act, but not the voice acting. The voice acting's fine in general. It's just I think the direction that they went with for the voice actors, specifically Nolan North and Troy Baker, like they just sound like Nolan North and Troy Baker. They didn't try and do anything with them.
Yep.
I think Nolan North sounds like Nolan North in every game.
Bruce sounds. Oh, sorry, Seb.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Bruce sounds exactly like Troy Baker. Like I was listening to him a little bit while he's talking to Kamala, and I was like, that's just Troy Baker. Like that's just him with maybe a slight differentiation in his voice. I mean, it works. I think it's fine. I think I actually didn't have any problems with the writing. I actually chuckled a couple times at a couple lines. I guess with the Thor line, I chuckled just because I was like, "Are you kidding me with this line?" But like generally, I didn't have a problem with the writing. I didn't. I guess it helps. I mean, I don't like to be a cynic, but it helped that I didn't have a bunch of expectations for this game. My expectations were actually pretty low. I know a lot of people are like, well, if you go through life with very little expectations, you won't be disappointed. But I don't know. I don't like doing that kind of stuff generally. But here it felt appropriate given what the trailers were kind of communicating to me. But I actually had a decent time with the beta. I thought it was okay. I don't think I've quite finished it, quotation mark, but I have gotten to the mission select. And so I was just about to do a mission. And it's been okay.
Yeah, in terms of gameplay, like by far, I think Captain America's and Black Widow's gameplay is the best. In the Hulk too.
Yeah.
When we start getting to flying with Iron Man, it was very clunky. I did not like it at all. It was hard to control. I really didn't like any of Iron Man sections at all.
Are you talking specifically about like flying, like
hovering up and down and
horizontal flight, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
the hovering. I can see what you mean, but I actually kind of enjoyed the horizontal flight where you're sort of flying like a plane or whatever, and you're shooting guys.
Oh yeah, that was fine. I mean, when you're fighting like the bad guys and you just have to hover up and down, it's like
that feels a little bare bones.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
For me. But Captain America's gameplay
when you contained in the full arena.
Captain America's gameplay though was phenomenal. Like I really enjoyed it. Like his felt the most fluid to me.
What I think is
Go ahead.
Sorry, you go, James.
What I
Yeah,
think doesn't help in like that first mission is that they jump you around the characters so quickly. Like they have you kill a couple of bad guys and then they do a cutscene and maybe to another character, so you don't really get a chance to
Right.
sink your teeth into each of them.
Mm.
Yeah.
It just sort of
and I think-
it feels like they're going story first, and then like story and cinematics first, and then gameplay. Which, depending on how you sort of are viewing and sort of wanting to view this game, that kind of will definitely sour your experience, possibly.
Yeah.
I think it's also
Yeah.
indicative of like them not wanting. I don't think they want you to sink your teeth into all these different characters at the start anyway. For one thing,
Yeah.
and for another, I think honestly the mechanics just aren't. They aren't sink. You can't sink your teeth really into these mechanics anyway. They're incredibly shallow. I think, and I don't mind that because again, I wasn't expecting a lot. So it's fine to me that, like, for example, like with the Hulk, I eventually got kind of a little bored of his fighting. But I don't know, like overall, like I thought the combat was pretty decent. And maybe again that's because I just didn't expect much. But either way, I had a pretty decent time with it, which was surprising to me. I felt a little. Oh, one thing I love about it that I want to mention is that this is one of the very few things I love besides Kamala. She's great, and she had to be in this game because honestly, if she wasn't in this game, I don't know how it would work. But the one thing I love about this game besides Kamala is that they put a button. It's very small, but they put a button for you to. It's like L2. You press it, and then it equips your best loot. And I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's great because I don't want to think about this stuff. I don't care about the loot system. I don't want the loot system. It just happens to be here. I don't know why. It doesn't even feel like it's necessary.
Yep. Yep.
And it's great that they just have a button that says, here's a button that makes you forget that you have a loot
Right.
system. I'm
And
like, terrific.
And then the damage, like the numbers that come on the screen, I'm like, how do they even calculate that? It doesn't like.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Like it wants to be an RPG, but it really isn't. It's a beat 'em up.
It's so silly. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
numbers go up. That means good. I do more damage now. It's like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the thing though. Like I all I want if you've got that kind of system, all I want is a nice clear number that's bigger than the one that I've got. Like that's the most that I want, so I can easily say, okay, that number's bigger. I'm going to equip that. Like all this text that they've got, like I don't. That's just taking me out of it. I don't need
The
that.
menu's so clunky,
It's
and
unnecessary,
I as soon as
Yeah.
I see it, I immediately want to be out of it as fast as I can. I'm like, okay, L2, and then maybe go over to like a collectible. Like there's a few audio logs I listened to about backstory, and I was like, okay, that's fine, but I want to be out of that menu as soon as possible. It's got so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game menu is pretty bad. Yeah.
A couple
UI
other
is not
things
good.
like that happened to me. I don't know if this happened to you guys, but like I had throughout while I was playing. This didn't happen in my second session that I was playing in, but in the first time I played it, I kept getting this pop up every minute or so that
The
said
internet
like
connection.
internet connection. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
no internet connection,
that,
and
it happened my whole playthrough.
yeah, and
It
like it
didn't
just kept
happen to me
popping
at all.
up. It kept popping up, and I had to keep dismissing it. Like, and it's
Yeah.
it's really annoying, like because I know it's an online game, but I'm trying to play. Don't shove a pop up in my face every minute and stop
Yeah.
me from playing. You know.
I got that feeling.
I had a
it's gonna have
pop
server
up for.
issues. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Seb. Go.
So I have a feeling it's gonna have server issues. That game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I had a
mean,
few pop-ups during my session, but like most of them
Yeah.
were, oh, you don't have the best loot acquired. I'm like, how the heck do you do that? So
Really.
I had to yeah, it kept popping up with like, you have better loot. You need to like equip it. I'm like, okay, how the heck do I do that?
oh, that
So
was fun. Yeah.
so I figured that's how I figured out the L2, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
And then what I was gonna say about pop-ups as well is I got something about Heroes Gear or something like that at one point, and I'm like, get out of here! Like I'm here to play the game. I'm not interested in like whatever you're trying to sell me or like whatever's going on there. Like it's like this big pop-up that obviously looks like very like marketing friendly, and I was just like, I don't really care. Can you stop? I'm trying to get over to Bruce to go talk to him. It just like kind of took me out of the game a little bit. I was like, I don't care about this. Please just let me play your decent, mediocre game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Fran? Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Fran, you there?
Yeah, okay. I think. Is it better?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds better.
Well, the beta isn't
Okay.
better, but your voice
Okay.
is better.
Yeah.
Okay. So hold on.
While you sort that out, one thing that stands out to me instantly, like Mitch, I know you sort of said that the story feels like a decent substitute for the MCU or something along those lines, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the thing that stood out to me, because I don't know if I agree with that, because it felt like right with Insomniac Spider-Man game, right? As an example,
Yeah.
that felt like okay, like let's take this iconic character and let's sort of put our own spin on it. Let's make this thing our own. Let's make our own story with this IP. But like in this case, it kind of feels like they got given the keys to the candy store, and they're like, okay, let's just stuff our pockets with everything that we can, and let's try and do as
Yeah,
much
I
stuff
get
as
that.
possible. You know?
Yeah, it seems like I could tell, like it definitely doesn't have like the same amount of heart, I guess you could say, as like the writing for like Insomniac Spider-Man does. But I think, you know, in the least sense, I think for me personally, I think it just acts as a decent substitute for the MCU, just because, you know, it has like semi-decent interactions. Like I definitely agree with you. Like the writing isn't spectacular and it doesn't have as much nuance or anything as Insomniac Spider-Man. But I think for me personally, it at least manages just to be like a very, you know, very serviceable, you know, writing and plot that sort of like it at least makes me want to like go forward and find out what the next mission or character beat is going to be, which I think, you know, at the end of the day is sort of what makes it the most serviceable.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess like
it's not one of those. Yeah.
I got a
Yeah.
little bit of that with some of the Kamala stuff at the end of the second mission. But honestly, like apart from that, I had no interest in the characters whatsoever or their motivations or anything like that.
My investment was 100% in Kamala. I could not have cared less about any of the other characters, and I'm a little biased. I read maybe what's equivalent to the first 2 or 3 volumes of Miss Marvel, which I recommend everybody check out. It's an awesome series. It's the only series that would ever make me think Jersey's a cool place to hang out. She's really good. I mean, she's just the heart of it, and I love so much that they kept her whole fan fiction thing there, that she writes fan fiction about the Avengers. Like, I love that they kept that in. It's so good. So whenever she's around, I'm happy. Whenever I have to play as the other Avengers, I'm like, okay, this is fine. Oh, I wanted to say about Captain America for a second, that I liked his combat a lot, but the only thing I struggled with is I kept thinking I just had to tap the circle button to get around the guys with the shields. But you always have to hold it down and then move towards them to leap over them. That always tripped me up. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Maybe other people found that more fluid than I did. I might have just been tripping myself up. But
I didn't even do that.
Oh, really? How did you handle them?
I would just hold the triangle button down and smash the shield.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I tried that a few times.
I totally forgot about that
Didn't work.
mechanic. Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Like a big pop up and everything.
Yeah. You had to press a button, I'm pretty sure, to get through that pop up.
Yeah.
I was just pressing circle, dodging everybody, and then smashing, holding down the triangle button, and that was it.
Gotcha.
It worked for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, speedrun strats already found out by our own Sebastian. Fran, how was your time with the beta?
I think I'm probably quite optimistic about it. I think there's lots of things that I can see that they can do with the game. Like they might not, they might do, but I think, you know, I enjoyed a lot of the combat stuff, even though it was quite button mashy. I like the animations and stuff, made it like less repetitive. Just you're not pressing square over and over. You kind of do a bit of different things. I agree. The gear system is completely pointless, and the menu is something else.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Scientists are still investigating to figure out what the heck that thing is.
I got through most of the content in the beta. I think I've got like that one mission in like the AIM big building, the big AIM building. Not really sure what that is yet though. But yeah, no. And I was quite surprised actually. Black Widow was like the least interesting character to me, just because they were quite standard with, like, you know, their guns and stuff. But they ended up being my favorite to play. So I thought that was quite interesting to see how it like changed from me watching trailers to actually how the game plays.
Right.
No, I think
Go ahead.
I think the most interesting part of this game so far is that AOL has come back in full force with AIM. It's amazing. I really didn't expect them to be the villains. Sorry. You can just delete that if you want.
One thing is, the game is very linear, like very linear. It was like I was playing Rise, Son of Rome. It's how linear it was. Earlier, you go one path only. You can only go down one path. Every level was just a hallway. Go straight. And plus all the ground characters are the best characters because the flying and everything's clunky and everything. So like anything character like Black Widow, Captain America, the Hulk play the best, I think. And anything that involves go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, they're swinging, but like I think Kamala and Widow's swinging is less than ideal. Like it's pretty clunky, and I'm really I'm really interested to I'm interested to see how they handle Captain America's mobility, because it's like, well, it's like he's not typically known for like swinging on things, and last time I checked, he doesn't have like the same super jumping abilities as Hulk. So
he'll slide on his shield. He'll be.
It's okay though, Mitch. Like, don't worry about it. He's dead. It's okay.
He's definitely dead. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I think comic books have a long and solid history of never erroneously bringing back characters that die, right?
Never.
I don't think
Absolutely.
that ever happens.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
So,
it's a done deal.
Solid record.
Yeah.
I mean, what, Iron Man's died before, right? He's never come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wolverine's never come back. I mean, Spider-Man's never come back. This is all established stuff. Deadpool.
Actually, all superheroes are dead. Superheroes are done. Sorry, MCU fans, but it's over.
Damn it.
Yeah, the $2 billion box office says otherwise, but okay.
No, but like the linearity of the sections, like just to touch on that again, like it is weird because like I'm quite a fan of linear structures, but this feels too linear. Like this feels like it feels like you do a combat section, you do a cutscene, you do a combat section, almost to the point where it doesn't even feel like you're progressing through a level. It just feels like you're doing a series of combat sequences. And it's just it's too much.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those like games where it's like it's so linear that you take notice of it. Like there's some there's some linear games where it's like, okay, like I mean I can like subconsciously note that it's linear, but I'm still having enough fun with it. Whereas like you get on like any of the building sections in this game, and it's like, wow, this is linear.
Yes.
Like I think it definitely doesn't help.
I feel like. Oh, sorry, Mitch. Go.
Yeah. I was just going to say, it's like the camera also doesn't help just with how close it is to all the characters, and it doesn't like back out at all. So like it feels really cramped, and then you're also in this really cramped environment, so you just as a whole feel really cramped. The characters that can fly and jump super high, and like when they're hitting the roof, it's just not good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in one of those game designer boxes. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I know so deeply that I'm in a video game that I feel like I'm in just a model of like a building, and like above me is like a I don't know, like a game designer, like putting tools and enemies and like and teleporting them in and stuff like that.
You just want one of those levels where it's just polygons with no textures on them, and you're just going about killing bad guys.
I also thought there was way too many QuickTime events. Like I rolled my eyes at how many there were. Like if it was triangle,
I didn't mind the QuickTime events as much.
I thought it was annoying. But
I thought I don't know if they were particularly well done. Yeah, they didn't stand out to me as a huge bad thing.
It was just like generic. It was like, pick up the van. Oh
yeah.
Okay, I think like the first Thor thing where it's like hold triangle to do this, it felt a bit egregious.
It's too standard video game.
But exactly.
We gotta wrap this topic up. So, in conclusion, we've been talking for like 20 minutes about this game. So
just I'll be quick, I promise. But a couple notes I want to bring up the photo mode real quick. They probably will. I don't know if they might fix it because it's the kind of thing they could fix before launch and make it better because it's a very small thing. But it's very bare bones at the moment. There's not a lot of features in it, and the camera movement is very bad. You can't go up and down, and the zoom. No, you can't. Like you have to angle the cam. You have to angle the camera downwards and move forwards to like go down. And it's the most annoying thing. And the the zoom slider is pretty much just changing the focal length. It's not actually zooming in. So yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah.
But the game looks nice enough that you can take some decent photos. But...
Yeah. To wrap it up, I think it's not bad at all. I think it's very mid, very average. It's something fun to play with your friends for a level or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's something to pick up in the bargain bin.
It's something I will not pick up day one. Yeah, it's something I'll get on sale, have fun with my friends. It's not something I'm dying to play day one.
And it's worth noting as well, though, that these are early impressions, and maybe the game with more than just 2 missions will be fantastic.
Sure.
I don't see it happening, but
I don't see that.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
It might be a game that's great in a year from now. Like they start adding a shitload of content, and then all of a sudden, it's a great game.
Definitely, like Anthem.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that works so well.
Anthem is doing great right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next topic. Hyperscape Impressions.
Next batch of impressions.
You ready to go, Fran? I'll let you start with this one.
Okay. So, I mean, I've been playing so much of this game. It's been like my life for this last week when it came out. I think I've got about 4 or 5 wins now, maybe. I think.
Well, you're doing better than me then by about 4 or 5.
And I'm like,
Yeah, same.
on tier. I'm almost tier 30, I think, on the battle pass. Anyway, all of the whole combat system and everything, like the way you kind of move around the map, I just really enjoy how it's like such a big change compared to stuff like, if when you play Warzone, you kind of in one spot for quite a while, then you have like a quick gunfight and then you move on. In this, it feels like the entire match is a gunfight and it just keeps going, because I've had matches where I swear that it just doesn't end. I'm on like, people just keep coming and coming and I just don't stop like fighting them. And it's just a nice change of pace compared to like a lot of the slower paced battle royales we have now.
Like at first, it sort of reminded me a bit of Apex Legends, in a way. But then, like once you get into it and you get into the movement systems and stuff, it's a lot more vertical movement based. Like you're jumping on rooftops and that sort of thing. It feels like a parkour battle royale in a way.
How's the jumping?
I was gonna say.
How's the jumping?
Jumping.
Like is it
The jumping?
Is it like Halo kind of like jumping where you jump really high and things like that?
Yeah, but like there's
Yeah.
stuff like jump pads and there's cool movement abilities where you can teleport. Like so you can use that to teleport up to rooftops and stuff like that.
I gotcha.
Yeah, but no, I mean it's like one of the things. The weird thing it reminded me of actually is Dishonored. It kind of feels a lot like Dishonored because in Dishonored, like you're going over rooftops and stuff and you're doing all this sort of parkour stuff to get around enemies. It feels a lot like that, surprisingly, except a bit more fast paced.
Right.
I mean, the level design does kind of feel a bit Dishonored-y, like with how the rooftops are laid out and how it sort of branches into buildings and little, actual interior areas. But so yeah, I get that.
I don't really know anything about Hyperscape. Like, sell me on this game. What is this game? What's going on? I vaguely am aware of it.
It's a battle royale.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much.
There you go. You're out.
Basically picture your standard battle royale with kind of like the weapons and like sort of like muted, watered down movement of what are they called? Like one of the Unreal Tournament games or like a Quake game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Quake.
Yeah,
it's
Quake.
kind of like battle royale.
Yeah,
It's Quake.
Yeah, I was gonna actually point that out. It reminded me of like Quake and Doom, where you're using different weapons. So like you'll quickly switch from a grenade launcher to then your rifle and stuff, and you use all these abilities. But I'm constantly switching guns and like shifting between them as I'm like in different situations, and that was quite cool.
Yeah, like it feels a lot like an arena shooter in a lot of ways, especially how it's
Absolutely.
like enemies are so small and they move so fast, which can be annoying sometimes to like hit targets. Because especially when they have such large health pools, because they have like these big health pools and they're moving so fast and they're these tiny targets. So at times it's like if they're too close to you and they're jumping all around you, it's like, okay, how am I supposed to hit that? But it's once you get used to it, I think it gets a lot better.
So it's like really fast then? The combat's like really fast? Like Doom or Quake?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think one of the best games I can say about this game is that it actually makes me want to go out and explore, like, not explore, like, experiment with different, like, playstyles and weapons and stuff. So it's like, it's like one game I can go, okay, I'll have, the minigun and the little rail energy gun thing. I'll have that, and then I'll have these hacks and abilities and stuff. And then it's like the next game I go, okay, I want to switch things up. Let me try out these different weapons, and like all of them to some extent are certainly viable, and that's like the best thing I can say about the game. It's like it actually makes me want to go out and switch up my playstyle.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
there's no,
like it does.
as far as I'm aware,
It,
like
it
there's
does.
no clear meta for the game as of now.
Yeah, like it does a really good job of that as well. I think of encouraging that sort of thing because you have these sort of perks. You have these sort of abilities you can pick up, like teleport or heal, or you can put a wall up in front of you that blocks bullets, and you can pick these up and they're on a
One is my
cooldown.
absolute favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
one that a combination that I've been using a lot is heal and teleport, which is I feel like it's more movement based. Like I can go and teleport across rooftops, and I can heal myself on the fly and that sort of thing. And like you can really get the impression that those different play styles are in there, and they're all really sort of viable. You know?
Yeah, I think. You guys said.
How many guns are there? Is there like?
Yeah.
It's quite a lot.
There's not that many. I mean, like there's like
less
there's
than a dozen, I'd say.
There's
Yeah,
more
a dozen.
variety with like there's not like incredible amount of guns, but I feel like each gun is so different that you don't really feel like you're
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of each type, but they all feel like the gunplay is one of my favorite things about it. Like they all feel so crunchy. Like that pistol, the revolver sort of pistol, that's one of my favorites because it feels like you can shoot somebody with that and just punch a hole in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
How's the maps? Are they big or are they?
it's just the one map, I think, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a big
I
city, pretty
don't
much.
really like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm not a big fan of the map. Like, there's no. It's not like of your Fortnites or your Apex Legends or anything where it's like you can you can look at any part of the map and understand. Okay, this is where I am on the map. Like, for the most part, it all looks the same.
But I
Most of
really
the
like
map, yeah.
I really like the way they handle like the zone shrinking because it's not like it's not like a circle that closes in like in most of these battle royales. It's like different sections of the map will start to get closed off, and you get a timer to get out of the zone. And once the timer ends, the zone starts sort of disintegrating, and you take damage over time while you're in the zone.
Yeah,
So, it has this cool.
It's not like
It's got a really
Yeah.
cool effect as well, where it's like all the textures will start sort of disappearing with like these wee triangles. It looks really good, I think.
So
yeah, no, absolutely.
what happens if you go on you get like a kill streak? Do you get any bonuses to that or?
I wouldn't know.
No. I would be cool, but I'm pretty sure. No.
No. Can you?
Oh, but
Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if we've mentioned it, but like you can. So like how this game's like sort of what differentiates this game's loot system up a lot is that like you can upgrade sort of like weapons and hacks and abilities and stuff by like just finding like similar things. So it's like say we get like I'm not sure we have mentioned it actually, so just feel free to stop me. But it's
Yeah.
it's like say if you have the teleport hack, if you find another like sort of teleport pickup, it's like you can just press square and then it's like, oh, okay, now I have like a cooldown boost, and then like when you upgrade it like 4 times, like sort of there's this little animation and you just have like a fully upgraded ability. And like in the late game especially, they are super useful and super fun. Just
Yeah,
sort of
that's a
play
nice-
around with.
Yeah.
That's a nice feature.
I was gonna ask you guys like, can you customize your character? Like, is there stats or is there like, can you just customize like, is there cosmetic stuff in the game or how does that work?
Yeah, like
There's cosmetics, yeah.
there's like a battle pass and a store and everything. The weird thing is like when you load up the game, it says in the top right corner of the title screen beta. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're monetizing the game, it's not a beta because
It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like a beta. It feels
That's-
like it's finished.
yeah, like that feels especially scummy to me monetizing betas. I don't like that. But yeah, no, I mean, you
Mhm.
can. There's a store with premium content and stuff, all the bells and whistles that you'd expect from a battle royale or a Ubisoft game.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No,
I will just add that the sensitivity on consoles at least I've heard is pretty bad.
yeah.
It starts off way too high.
I
when you
wanted
start
to-
the game.
Here's the thing: it's not
Yeah.
just that it's high; it's that the way it ramps up is weird. So you know how in most
Yeah.
games, when you're playing with a controller, first-person shooters, the more you push the stick to one side, the faster you'll turn around. The way it works in
Mm.
this game, and you can't change this, which is annoying. The way it works is it'll go quite slow at first, and then you'll get to a point where suddenly it'll jump to going really fast. And
Yeah.
like it's so annoying because you'll be in the middle of a gunfight and you'll be like precisely aiming this guy, and then all of a sudden you'll move the stick a little too far to the right, and all of a sudden you're doing a 180 and you're looking at in the other direction.
Yeah, it was quite a learning curve, I think, early on, just like trying to, because I kept losing all my like gunfights, like in the first like 5 or so matches I played, just because the sensitivity is so bad. Like it takes a bit to get used to, and once you do get used to it, you're all right. But I think that initial learning curve is just it's not great, and if they can patch it in, it should be a lot better.
You
hopefully.
can't adjust the sensitivity.
You can adjust the sensitivity, you just can't change the way it ramps up.
Okay, gotcha.
So the problem's still there, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Overwatch, for example, they let you change the way it ramps up.
I gotcha.
Mm.
Shooters are made to play on mouse and keyboard anyway, but
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
all right. Let's move on to the next topic because we're heading into almost 40 minutes now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you guys can turn any topic into half hour. No, I'm just playing.
I don't know, man. It's almost like we like video games.
I know, right?
So weird.
Who'd have thought, right? Who'd have thought?
I could have talked about Avengers for more.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Then we
Just
all
not
could've,
positively.
We could have had a whole show about that alone. All right.
Yeah. Could've, yeah.
Next topic. Control Ultimate Edition. It requires you to buy it again for the PlayStation 5 version. I know a lot of people are upset about that.
Yeah.
Dory, you pick it off.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're
Bad at measuring when people are done talking and when they're not.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is a really frustrating thing to me as someone who appreciated Control. I think this is a really scummy, bad thing to do. I think if you're going to offer updates for your game, they should, generally speaking, be free unless they are so monumental that your team like needed to spend years on it or something. Like unless it's an incredibly big change that adds a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I feel like people should be able to upgrade it for free as long as they as you know. I just think that makes sense in this case and in most cases. Honestly, it just seems like an easy way to make money. Number one, and number two, it seems punishing to those who have PS4s and don't want to buy the Ultimate Edition. So that's kind of the long and short of it. I mean, you can look at the IGN video that has the trailer and look at the like-dislike ratio and look at the comments. I know IGN doesn't always have the best commenters, but in this case, I think that most of them are pretty spot on with their analysis of the subject.
Yeah, that sounds very anti-consumer to me. I mean, I haven't played it yet, so I was gonna get it on Steam anyway. So I guess it doesn't really affect me personally. I'll just get the Ultimate Edition on Steam. But that's really shitty for them to do that. You know, like just up. You know,
and it's surprising from it's surprising from
yeah.
Remedy in particular because I don't think they're known for doing these kind of things.
Well,
I saw a lot of comments on the IGN.
Sorry, I don't think it's from Remedy though. I would not be surprised in the slightest if it was 505 Games or whoever sort of publishes them. Because like 9 times out of 10, that usually isn't like an actual developer decision. That's just unfortunately a publisher thing where it's like, okay, we can squeeze even more money. Like if the game didn't have the season pass and like this Ultimate Edition had like some it was a re-release and it had like some extra DLC or like missions and stuff, like it was the only other thing you could pay for, fine, maybe. I mean, actually, some people might actually see that as even more of a cost. But well, even then, like if they offer like an Ultimate Edition upgrade, like outside of the season pass, where it's like, okay, pay $20 or whatever, and you get the Ultimate Edition upgrade, and then you get all the DLC plus the free upgrade or whatever. That's fine. But the fact that we have to go out and buy the game again feels very shady.
What, it's like what, $30-$40? Not full price, right?
It's not full price, but it's like it's still for it's like, I mean, like on paper the price sounds fine, but it's like for people like Dory and I who've already bought the game, it's like I don't
for sure.
It's just frustrating. It feels like to me that games should have a beginning and an ending, and these days I don't know. I guess I'm an old person at this point, but like I just kind of remember when games had a beginning and they had an end, and you didn't have to have so many different editions, DLC, and all this other stuff. Like remember when DLC was the most controversial thing, and people were like, "Oh, I don't know about this."
Absolutely.
It was a simpler
iMem
time.
was-
Okay, yeah.
But,
remember you
what'd
could
you
just
say, Jane?
remember you could just unlock everything yourself, and you just there's secrets
Yeah,
that you
what'd
can
you-
find. Go ahead, James.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have anything to say. Sorry.
Oh no. Worries.
Oh, okay.
Does anyone else have anything to add about this topic? I think there's not much else to say.
Yeah.
I don't
good
think
stuff.
any of us agree with it.
I don't have much of an opinion on it, to be fair.
No worries. Fran, anything to add or?
No, not really.
Alright, cool. Next topic. The Last of Us Part 2 has a grounded mode and a permadeath mode, and I've seen some real funny videos. You can die. You can literally lose if
Yeah.
in the snowball fight. You can. I've seen people.
Yeah,
fall
I
off the
just-
rope. Go ahead, Mitch.
Yeah, sorry, no, I was gonna say, yeah, I just saw the snowball video then. It was like, it's like on
So
the
funny.
permadeath grounded thing, and it's like, if you die at the snowball fight, I'm like, but basically all the replies are, it's like, imagine the Rat King boss fight, or literally any other encounter.
You know what I'm thinking?
I like
Go ahead, James.
I like this sort of split off lore though, that like you lose this snowball fight and it alters all the events of the game so that nothing happens.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
Ellie just gets like really depressed and like and that she lost a snowball fight to a bunch of kids and she decides not to go out on patrol.
No,
Yeah, she just
Joel
goes
has to
home.
console
she
her.
goes home, writes a few songs,
Oh, she-
becomes a famous guitarist, and then she
That's
lives
right.
happily ever after.
She
I want to play
had
that
to
game.
Take on me.
Yeah.
I mean, the funny thing is, I didn't even know you could like actually lose the snowball fight. I thought it was one of those situations where it's like irrelevant of whether you win or lose a snowball fight. The game just sort of continues nonetheless. I didn't know that would literally put you into a fail state.
that might be a
Fail
new
state if
feature.
you lost the snowball fight.
That might be a new feature.
Sorry?
I thought edit.
I think that's new for the permadeath mode. I think.
I thought that was an edit.
Okay.
Did they really die because they lost the
I don't
snowball
know.
fight?
I just thought it was funny. I don't know.
Yeah. It had like an had an animation with like Tina just sort of like falling to her knees, just like defeated and everything. And it had like this sound effect. It was
I don't know if that's real. I thought there was an edit. I was like, wow, this seems like a bad edit or something like that.
Can you imagine losing like in the final fight against you know who? Like you got right there and you
Oh.
die in the you know what? Like
Yeah.
It was super weird that,
Yeah.
that Ellie had to fight
Oh my
Voldemort.
God.
I thought that was really out of place.
Yeah, totally. I honestly I think that The Last of Us is really a unique game for this kind of thing because it's like I feel like if I were to do like grounded permadeath, a playthrough of that on this game, I could get like halfway through, die, and then I could just stop and treat that as the ending. You know, like it would be a pretty
Yeah.
shit ending, you know, but like I feel like it would work that way, right?
Yeah, it's one of those few unique games where it's like permadeath actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think Batman Arkham Origins had a permadeath game mode, and it's just like, I mean, like it was a fun challenge, but it's like, what? Like, I don't get it.
I think
Whereas
I'm
here,
not
it's like,
gonna
you
do
know,
it.
it hits the world. Yeah,
that game has too
Um,
many like
for sure.
the game has too many cutscenes for me to have to sit through all that again. I would not enjoy
I
myself.
mean,
Is
you can skip 9 out of
Is this
10 of them,
part
but
two?
You can.
Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can skip them.
yeah, you can skip the cutscenes by and large. I mean,
Oh,
there
well,
are some walking
That's
cutscenes.
what I
that you
mean.
can't-
Like a lot of like the walking, the
Oh.
slow moments in that game. It's
Yeah,
it's a
that always
cinematic
kept me-
experience.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That always kept me from replaying FF7 Remake on hard because I was just like so many walking segments.
exactly.
That's the thing, though. I feel like in a different game, permadeath would be like a speedrun mode where you're
Right.
just trying to get through the gameplay, just trying to get from checkpoint to checkpoint. But in The Last of Us, it feels like a different burn where it's like
Right.
it's like it gives you an alternate ending in a way.
Maybe
Is anyone gonna? Oh, sorry, Seb.
I was gonna say Wolfenstein 2 did the permadeath thing, but that game is way shorter that was like
Right.
impossible. Like if you got that achievement, you're a real gamer. It's just one of those things. Like, you're a legit real gamer. Like that's like
Like the platinum trophy is like just
0.1%
a
of people have that trophy.
Wow.
god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So is anyone
And-
going to be doing the permadeath? Like I'm not.
No, I'm
If-
done.
I don't know, man. I'm too afraid.
I've planned out and everything. I know exactly which or like. So pretty much, I'm gonna play the game on Grounded Plus first to get to grips with the whole, all of that stuff. Then I'm gonna
Yeah.
play before I do each like chapter each day on permadeath. I'll do it on Grounded first, so I know just as like a recap before I do it. Then I'll do it on permadeath. So
Wow.
hopefully I'll get through it like that.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're doing
Let
permadeath
us
on
know how it
ground
is.
too. You're not. Yeah, you're not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
I'm
like
doing
one of the things.
Grounded Plus permadeath for sure.
Oh
Yeah, I mean-
man.
If I was going to go for the trophy, like I'd want to probably do it on easy, permadeath on easy. But then
Oh,
at the same time, I don't think my pride would let me. I feel like I'd need to do it on like normal minimum.
There's Last of Us. There's no
Yeah.
easy mode in Last of Us.
You know,
You're
I,
all
I want the ultimate realistic
Just
experience.
like real life.
yeah, just like real life. This happened in real life.
Exactly.
There's no easy mode.
The Last of Us Part 2 is now real life.
That's right.
We're getting there.
Oh,
2020. We're getting there. End of the year.
Oh man.
I think briefly going back to like The Last of Us Part 2 and accessibility, I think it's good that they at least have those options though for like people who aren't like are kind of daunted by the permadeath thing, where it's like you can have it so it'll either just end the game as a whole, or it'll set you back to like the start of the chapter or the day or the act. Like I think that's probably good for like people like me who are who want to try out permadeath, but also at the same time don't want to lose all of my progress at the very end.
The thing is,
and at the same time, as James said, the pride thing, yeah.
Well, the thing is that what annoys me when they do this with the trophy list is that they add like DLC to it, so my 100% turns into 88%. I don't know. I know it's not a big deal,
yeah, that sucks.
but it kind of annoys. It always annoys me when they do that.
Well, at least you still get to keep the platinum though.
That's not a big deal, but it's like it does hurt my
It's
percentage.
like the percentage is what matters. Yeah, it's like the percentage is what like matters the most out of it.
I was thinking too. It's
like
great that it doesn't have to contribute towards the platinum too, because I can't even. I mean, I'm not going for the platinum anyway, but I think that's great for people who are, that they don't have to play on grounded permadeath to get all the achievements and get platinum. I mean, that just sounds like a nightmare. No offense, Fran.
It's like, I don't know, man. Like I think that's why I never really cared about doing achievements on like Xbox or PC, because like I don't care that much about the percentage. It's all about the platinum for me.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, the thing is with PC achievements is they're easy to cheat on, so they're not really worth as much compared to like consoles, because consoles are a lot harder to hack. You can. I know people that know how to, but you can hack a PlayStation trophies, but it's a lot of work. PC, it's one program.
It's funny too, because you actually get a trophy once you hack it.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
Some games are smart. They like Stanley Parable. If it knows that you're cheating, it puts you in a room, infinite room.
Earthbound did that too.
Yeah.
I think sorry, just speaking of cheating, and I think what Dory earlier said, you were playing Arkham Asylum. A fun thing I remember, like back in the days, that like if people pirated the game, I think it was either before the game's official release, or like after the game's official release, like if people pirated the game, they wouldn't be able to glide or anything. And there's this one section in Arkham Asylum where you're required to glide across like big caverns and stuff in order to progress, and then like Rocksteady would getting all these forum posts from people saying, it's like, oh, I can't progress, like my character won't glide, and then they're like, did you pirate the game? It's like, yes. Well, that's why.
Yeah, I love that kind of thing. Like, what was that game where if you pirated the game, all the text turned into pirate speech? I think it was a game that did that.
I know who you're talking about.
Sounds like Treasure Island a bit.
There's a few games
whatever,
that do
like
something like
those
that.
mining games, yeah.
It was
I was
definitely.
really
I think it
hoping-
was. Sorry.
That's okay, Mitch. I was really hoping that you were gonna say if you pirated the game, Batman himself would come into your apartment and just break your legs, but it's not.
Hey, maybe he does.
That's
I mean, we would know,
rude.
right?
Yeah.
There's another
We
game.
don't know.
Yeah.
There's another game I forgot. Like if you pirated the game, it summons a demon after you, and it's unkillable, and it follows you the entire game, and it makes it impossible to play.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
That's
fun.
a metaphor for life right there.
yeah. There's some cool Watch Mojo list about that. It's pretty fun to watch.
I mean, at that point, you might even want to pirate a game just to see the stuff. You know.
Yeah. So let's get into the Cyberpunk video about how you can choose your different story paths. Like, what path are you guys picking?
Yes.
I don't know.
We'll start with James. Actually, you don't know yet.
I haven't decided yet. I probably either Nomad or Corpo. Street Kid doesn't appeal to me that much, but yeah, I might try starting the game as all three of them, because they all seem to have different openings at least before they all merge into the same thing. So I'll probably try the opening for each of them. But yeah, that's probably one of those two. Honestly, like that whole thing is probably what sold me on the game. Like I was going to buy the game one way or the other, but I think that's what got me excited, was the fact that they've got like three different openings that all start with different story in different places on the map.
Right.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
What Fran,
Yeah.
what story are you picking?
I'm pretty much all in for Corpo. I mean, I might choose Street Kid, but like for a second account or something. But at the moment, I'm leaning a lot towards Corpo. I like that whole idea of starting up at the top and like having a redemption arc of going against the corporation you once worked for. I thought that's
Ooh,
a cool concept.
let's go.
It's interesting that like all three of us could be playing different story paths because I'm doing Street Kid. So
Do you know, like, I've just decided I'm going to go corpo and I'm going to name my character Bobby Kotick and then I'm going to fire all my employees.
oh.
Wow.
God damn it.
Wow.
That was good. That was good, James.
I don't like this. What's the one? The redneck one, like in the
Nomad.
Nomad. Yeah, I didn't really care for that because I don't. It's just not my thing. I'm as country as Frank Sinatra, so that's not gonna happen. So like, so the only one that was appealing to me is the corporate one, and like, I'm kind of on the fence on that one. But like, I think the Street Kids because I want to be in the city. You know what I mean? I think that's.
I think
Go ahead.
I think like for me, at least like the main draw to like Corpo is that like it's kind of like that. I guess you could say like sort of not like Orwellian 1984-esque sort of thing, where it's like you have this, like you have your character and he starts out in this place of quote unquote wealth and prosperity, and then like as the game progresses, I'm guessing that like, if you choose the corporate path, the story is going to be about sort of rebelling against the proverbial big brother of the situation.
Yeah, you get to.
So I think like that.
Yeah, you get to work for Apple.
Yeah.
And fight Epic Games.
I was just thinking that.
The irony.
You can join the resistance by joining another multi-million-dollar corporation,
you get to
fight
join
another multi-million-dollar corporation.
You get to be part of Tencent. You get to fight Apple.
That's right.
My kind of game.
That's right.
Quick tangent on that. That's right. Quick attention on that video. I can't believe it took me like 2 watches of that thing to realize that the instead of Goldstein or whatever it is on the telescreen or whatever, it's an Apple character. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, it's that's a whole thing. But anyway, we're not an Apple Epic Games podcast here, so but yeah, no, I think like definitely the whole idea of yeah, well, true. The whole idea of like rebelling against like the corporations, man, like that sounds definitely appealing.
Yeah,
if that's your cup of tea. But yeah,
definitely. Like that's going to be my catchphrase as well. The corporations, man. As they're doing. Stab corporations.
So,
yeah.
So, what do you guys think of the guns and the gameplay? Like, did anything jump out at you, or like in terms of that?
The gameplay.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised by how much the guns. Yeah, I'm surprised by how much the guns remind me of Borderlands. Like they seem to have like that same sort of punch to it. Like I mean, obviously better, but it's like the same sort of punch to it and aesthetic, I guess you could say that Borderlands has, where it's like they seem really customizable and like sort of unique.
Yeah, that's because the nomads were very Borderlands like, because you're in a desert area.
Yeah,
it was very Borderlands.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Both in the future, not future, but I guess it's the future.
It felt very Final Fantasy VII to me. The whole nomad thing. It's just a city surrounded by a desert.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. You're right. It's true.
Well, I mean, like, Fran, like, what do you think about like the guns and loot and all that? You play a lot.
To be honest, the gameplay looks like the least appealing thing. Like I didn't enjoy the Witcher gameplay, and I wasn't expecting much from Cyberpunk in gameplay wise.
Absolutely.
And so far, like I'm excited about like the world and the character choices and all that kind of thing, but the gameplay just doesn't look that interesting. It's like Far Cry 5 similar type gameplay.
Oh yeah, that's where the simulator. Like it does look like a Far Cry game, like the field of view and like
that's an absolutely scathing insult.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Well, I mean, Far Cry 3 is pretty great. Far Cry 5 is less. Great, but yeah.
In terms of gameplay.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, I think.
There
you go. Yeah.
The Witcher 3 is a masterpiece to me. Like I think it's top 5 game this generation, but like combat was the worst part of the game, and so they have to prove that they can do their combat better. The more I watch the game,
the melee combat looks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. I was going to say, it's like, I mean, even CD Projekt Red have said that, they're not like 100% 100% happy with the melee combat. I'm not sure if that also extended to like the gunplay. 'Cause I think the gunplay looks fine. Like it doesn't. It looks a lot more punchy than I was expecting. But yeah, the melee looks pretty meh.
It's
It
just
just sort of looks like one of those things where it's like you just mash the
Yeah.
trigger buttons or whatever.
it's a
and
story game,
then-
so you're probably better off like trying to persuade people or trying to make
Yeah.
a deal or something. It just
For sure.
Yeah, like
It's
that's
like-
what I'm excited for, like getting
Yeah, me
invested in
too.
the world and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I am excited. Like I don't give if
Yeah.
combat is bad, but everything else is great. Like in terms of like the story and everything, it doesn't matter if the combat's bad to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
It's just
Well, I mean, yeah.
go ahead.
It also depends on how you play as well, because like it could be like a Dishonored, because Dishonored, like I'm playing through that right now, and it's like the best thing I can say about it. Like with what I'm doing is I'm trying to like stealth my way through everything, and occasionally like killing people and making their bodies disappear. But it's like the combat in that, like I'm having a lot of fun with the combat and gameplay, just because it's not forcing me into like one-on-one encounters where I have to like block and parry and all that. Like that side of the combat's pretty terrible.
Mhm.
But when like I'm stealthing through and I'm doing like I'm playing the game the way it was intended to be played, you could say, that's where I'm having the most fun. And I'm wondering whether that's going to be like the same with Cyberpunk, where it's like it's sort of you go for like sort of ranged, like either shoot your way through things or you talk your way through things, but maybe not so much punch your way
Right.
through things.
You generally like
Yeah.
when I play Fallout, I generally raise my charisma high so I can persuade people to get like more money and stuff.
Yeah.
So I generally it's how I play.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah, so all about them speech
Wow.
options. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the speech options.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
that's probably
Sure.
how my guy would be. Yeah. All right.
Mm.
All right.
I want
Go ahead.
to talk about the music a little bit.
Oh,
That's right.
sure.
Like because they had that wee
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
They had that section with the music.
Yep.
And like
Yeah.
I think it's really cool how like they're basically recording a whole album with this fictional band.
Swedish. They're like Swedish, I think.
Something like that. I'm not
The
entirely
singer-
sure.
Yeah, I think the singer's Swedish.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
thought
no,
they
like
had the band called Refused involved. I
yeah,
thought that was
and
funny.
I've after they released some of the first songs from Samurai, the fictional band, like I listened to some of Refused's music, and they do some really good stuff. But yeah, no, like there's the songs that they've released so far, that they've released 4 of them, have been really, really good. Like I can't wait for the whole album to be out. But that sort of wee documentary that they did about the guy, about the band, like making the music and everything, like was it just me or did the lead singer not seem happy? Like he kept talking.
Yeah.
He kept talking about how like, oh, it's a little annoying how this guy keeps telling me about
Yeah.
my accent and everything.
Yeah, the coach
And the
was
way I
kind of the coach was kind of a hard ass. He was telling them, "Oh, it's not that good at all." Like, you know what I mean? He was very. I was like, "Damn."
It was
Yeah,
very awkward.
Yeah.
He kept
It's
like
very
he
awkward to
kept
watch,
saying that, and he kept like playing it off as like, oh yeah, but it's fine. But like I could see him being like, maybe okay, yeah, this is a
He looked
nightmare.
broken
I regret this
inside, yeah.
deal. You know? Yeah.
Dead inside. Yeah.
They didn't get Keanu to sing. That's so disappointing. I wanted Keanu to sing.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. It's like, oh, 0 out of 10. Keanu doesn't actually sing the
I know.
songs.
I wanted his lead single to be called "Breathtaking."
Yeah. That's gonna be the review. That's their title of the review. Not breathtaking out of 10. That's
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, yeah.
If it's
But
bad.
like honestly, the guy who the lead singer of Refused, I think he's quite a close match to Keanu. Honestly, like I could,
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody told me, like if I'd never heard the music before, and somebody said, "Hey, that's Keanu singing," I probably would have believed it.
Mm.
Which I guess, is what they were aiming for, so they
Yeah,
achieved it.
definitely.
Did he ever sing in a movie? No.
I don't know.
I mean, Bill and Ted, they're in a band, but I don't think it's him singing.
No, I don't think he actually did. Do any of them sing? Like, is it just guitar riffs and stuff?
Yeah, I don't think. I think in the second one, Kiss
I haven't
sings
watched
for
those
them.
movies in.
I know Kiss
Yeah,
sings a
I
song.
haven't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't watched those movies in ages.
That's,
So
that's what the movies are about, because they're 2 guys that like save the world with their music.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now is the Bill and Ted podcast.
Yeah.
So
Radical.
let's talk about the third movie. No,
Yeah.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to watch that actually. All right. I think you got anything else out about Cyberpunk?
Oh, the art book. Sorry, I'll let Fran speak right after me. But the art book, I think, is definitely like I'm tempted to buy it.
Yeah, that looks kind of
That is
cool.
all. Yeah. I'm always down for a good old art book. Fran, you have the floor.
Just one thing I would like to say about, how, like, obviously the nomads start out in the Badlands outside of Night City. I'm wondering, like, how much that space is going to be used after that section, because, everything seems to be about Night City and these corporations. This entire desert area with, like, that village and all that outside. I wonder if that's going to be used at all after that, or if that's just kind of like a prologue area and then you move away.
That's a good question. 'Cause, like, how big is the map? Like, how far can you go? That's a good question.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if City Projekt's like reputation is anything to go by, there'll probably be a shit ton of side quests out there.
Yeah.
Maybe the story doesn't take place a lot there, but there will be probably a lot of content there.
Yeah. You know, it kind of reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 5 too. Because you're in the city, and then all of a sudden there's a whole desert area. It's like half the game is that. Yeah, so maybe it's like that.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me is why I'm excited is I love cyberpunk, like the genre. I just love the.
Yeah.
I'm a big lo-fi, electronic dance music fan.
Did you just say lo-fi instead of lo-fi?
Is it lo-fi? It's lo-fi, right? I never say that out loud. I never say that out loud.
That's it. You've done it now. You're going to be the Lofi guy now.
Lofi, yeah.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Lofi from One Piece, everybody.
Good thing I'm the editor. Good thing I'm the editor. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, if you hear a blip right here, just get cut out.
Yeah. I'm horrible with pronunciations, but I'm a writer.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was funny.
No, you're right.
I just made me think of
I always say
Luffy from
Lofi.
One Piece.
Yeah. All right. Next topic. Well, actually, before we get into this, before I say it's the last topic, do you guys want to do a top 5? We're at an hour and 3 minutes, so I think.
I think we should.
What's the last topic?
Top 5, John. Oh, the next one is Suicide Squad, which is probably gonna be like a 15-20 minute conversation. I think.
I don't really have my full top 5 genres. Sorry, I was.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
This will be the last topic then.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I think we've done enough. I think this will get us to almost an hour and a half, which is fine.
Yeah, we're at an hour and 4 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Should be fine.
Yep. All right. So Suicide Squad, they confirmed the title. It's called Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. And then they said there's gonna be a WB Montreal is announcing a game at the same day, like later on in the night. What do you guys think about that game? What do you guys?
That's the one that they teased like a year ago.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't.
Stupid
whoever
shit. Like whoever's doing the advertisement, horrendous. Like.
Yeah. They probably pressed send, and then a week later, when everyone was like, "What are you doing?" They probably regretted it immediately.
Oh, totally. I wouldn't be surprised if they got the same person to market that game as the person they got marketing Avengers at the beginning.
Right? Yeah.
How do you like tease a game and then don't talk about it for like 8 months? Like I don't understand like the logic in that.
Yeah. Maybe they announced it and then the reveal got shifted back. I mean, like we don't always know what happens internally. To be fair.
True.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. Because I mean, at the same time though, it's like also because I'm pretty sure like they first like sort of unveiled that pic at like on the anniversary of Batman or whatever, like one of those events. So it's like they probably got pressured by WB to like just like push out like a teaser or something out like right now for the anniversary, and when they had like nothing available already.
Or maybe they thought that it was going to leak, so they thought they'd get out ahead of it.
At this point, there's been like 15 dozen different leaks for this game.
Yeah.
So at this point, any of them could be true, honestly.
Sure.
All these leaks, we don't even know what the game is. We're assuming it's
I don't know.
Court of Owls. We're assuming it's the Court of Owls, but like.
Yeah, I think that's like the one constant throughout them all. It's like that it is the Court of Owls, but like they all seem to like differentiate from you can play as the entire Bat family to you can only play as Batman and Robin. You're playing as Damian Wayne Batman, which I mean technically was one of their projects that was in development until it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, there's been like tons of different leaks, and they've all basically said the same but different things the whole time. And yeah.
So do you guys want another Batman game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go either way. I didn't care for the plot of Night. I haven't played it myself, but I've watched folks play it. And so I feel like they did enough with Batman in terms of I would like a more Bat family story. If they're going to keep it Batman, but I'm okay with Suicide Squad. I think it can be done well. If anyone wants a good Suicide Squad movie, then they shouldn't watch Suicide Squad. They should watch the Assault on Arkham movie. That's a really good Suicide Squad movie.
Absolutely.
With much, well, I won't spoil it, but with as much Cape Crusader as you should have in it.
Yeah, like go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, I think they can do this, and I mean, I think I could be good. I know that Rocksteady has been doing. They were talking about this in the MinMax show, but that Rocksteady has been doing a lot of building up different characters. Like they had all the DLC for Harley Quinn and like different other characters in Arkham Knight, and then they had multiple playable characters in Arkham City and Arkham Asylum where you could play the Joker. So like I feel like they've been building to having a whole team of characters for a while.
So do you think that this is going to be the same universe as the Arkham games then?
Oh, I don't know. I have no heckin' clue, but it could be. I mean, we don't know anything about Superman. We do know he exists, but
well, I heard a rumor that they're trying to connect all the games, and then they might even reboot the Arkham series just so they were all connected. They want to do their own DC universe through their games.
Speaking of superheroes,
I don't agree with that.
You said,
but
as soon as you said, I heard a rumor. I was like, oh my god, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Right.
Immediately, I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's how I got you on the podcast. You guys just didn't know. All right.
But I'm on record as I'm on record as the guy who hates superheroes, but I'm also on record as thinking that Rocksteady should. I'm also on record as thinking that Rocksteady should sort of flex their creative chops and make something that's not like a known IP, and they should make something that's new, because I feel like they've proven themselves with like the Arkham games, and I'd like to see what they could do outside of the realm of popular superheroes. You know, like I feel like they could do something that's not superheroes, that's new and different.
Yeah, but then
for sure,
I've been very consistent when I've said I'm tired of the Arkham series. I think 4 games is enough. If we do another Batman game, I want either Red Hood, Nightwing, or a Batman Beyond. I think Batman Beyond would be the best choice because it's in the future. He can fly, and you can do a lot of cool like flying mechanics with that. And you can.
What you're saying is you want Cyberpunk 2077, but with Batman.
Yeah, with Batman. Yeah, I guess you can have old Bruce Wayne, and you can connect it to the Arkham games if you want.
That'd be great.
You can do all the cool things with it. You know, Batman Beyond is an awesome cartoon, so. You got a whole brand new character. You know what I mean? You don't have. There's so much you can do with that. I don't. Yeah, so. We get another Batman game that's the same combat, the same kind of story, same like, there's a couple of side bosses, travel the city, swing around. Like, I mean, I'll probably like it and enjoy it, but it's not what I'm looking for. I think 4 games is enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like at least Spider-Man, like it was similar, but at least had like its own swinging mechanics and things like that. It wasn't like copying. You know what I mean? It wasn't. Its own thing.
Yeah, no. It felt inspired by the Arkhams, but it didn't feel like it owed it an incredible debt.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, what was I going to say? I'm not that I'm not that excited by the prospect of like a Suicide Squad game. Like I think they work in comics and movies, but I just obviously I'm happy to be proven wrong, but it's like I just don't see how. Because like on paper, it sounds like they'll probably just be doing the same thing as Avengers, where it's like, it's
a Destiny.
You know what? The funny
basically, and I don't want another one of those games. Like I think Avengers is enough,
right?
For the time being, even if this one is coming out next year. But yeah.
The funny thing is, we're talking about 2 different games. I was talking about the WB Montreal game.
Yeah, sorry.
We've been jumping.
Yeah, sorry. I was just.
Yeah, because the Suicide Squad game is like a service game. I'm hearing like it's like
supposedly
Avengers, like Avengers.
Yeah, it's been rumored. It's been rumored to be a service game, which I mean, look, honestly, at this point, I'm just waiting for the official reveal. Hopefully, we get a gameplay reveal also, because I want to know what this game actually is. Because it's like, Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League. It's like, well, that could go either way. Like that could either be like a really fun game, or that could be really,
That's so much to balance. Like, not only do you have to make all the Suicide Squad interesting, you also need to make the whole Justice League interesting. And I mean, you could maybe do that. I mean, it's not like look at Bruce Timm and Paul Dini with their Justice League Unlimited series. Like, it's possible to balance that amount of characters, but it takes a lot of dedication to do it just with the Justice League, let alone with also the Suicide Squad. So I mean, it's got to be built up really delicately.
Yeah, like
how do
you even fight the Justice League, because they're so overpowered? Like how do you fight?
Like,
Superman?
imagine
a lot of
yeah.
kryptonite.
With
Yeah.
the loot system.
A what?
With the food system.
With the what?
Yeah, what Harley Quinn equips a level 40 epic rarity baseball
That's
bat,
right.
and she beats Superman with it. Yeah.
With the loot system. Very nice.
Oh,
I mean, like,
hope they
what
don't
I
do a
mean,
loot system, but yeah.
maybe what they will do is, like, if you look at Avengers as, like, the problem with it maybe is that it has too many characters, then, you know, like, to manage, then maybe you could look at it from a perspective of, okay, for the Suicide Squad game, maybe it's just like in their lore, it's the beginning of the Suicide Squad, and they only have like 3 characters. So it's more like Destiny, where you've got 3 classes, and then if they ever want to make a sequel, they can add more characters in there, and that sort of gives them a lifeline, you know, like a timeline.
I totally get that, but I think knowing the internet, there's going to be outrage. It's like we get to the thing and it's only revealed to be like 3 characters. Like, people are going to be memeing and like Suicide Squad, more like the Suicide Trio, something like that.
Well,
like, yeah.
Well, like,
yeah.
You guys, do you guys think you play as like Killer Croc and in like all Deadshot or?
Yeah, it would be like a tank.
So you think
I'm really interested.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, like, I'm really interested to see how, because, like, I mean, Rocksteady's Arkham games have like a very distinct gameplay style. Like, it's very, like, mash square to punch, occasionally press triangle to counter, whatnot. So I'm wondering how, or if they're gonna like sort of differentiate it from that style. Like, if they're just gonna have like the same exact sort of button layout and everything, except with different animations and different sort of gameplay styles or whatever. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's just wait and see for me, I guess.
Yeah. Go ahead, James.
Well, I was just going to go on a different direction, but what I think is interesting is, like, Warner Brothers were looking to sell their games division, and they've sort of backed out of that at the last minute.
Right.
So I think I think what might have happened, maybe I don't know the specifics of how this thing usually works, but maybe what happened is they were wanting to sell, and then the Suicide Squad game got teased, and they saw the excitement around that, and they thought, okay, let's see how this plays out first.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Were you guys? This probably doesn't apply to James, but were you guys disappointed that they were doing a Suicide Squad? Because I know a lot of people have been clamoring for a Superman game for the longest time.
I mean, I was disappointed they were doing a Suicide Squad, but for different reasons.
Yeah, because it's superheroes, but
yeah, exactly.
Nailed it.
Yeah, were you guys disappointed that they were doing Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
That's everybody.
I mean, I saw the. Sorry, you go, Fran.
I was just gonna say, I was hoping they were gonna do something like, I just wanted a Flash game for a long time, ever since I saw the leaked gameplay of the cancelled one. I've wanted one for a long time, so it's not that.
Well, I don't know if you want a Flash game. If you want a Flash game, there's tons of them. Just go on one of them websites.
Go on Newgrounds.
You're gonna make
Newgrounds. There you
go on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know what Newgrounds is.
I did want to say, I wasn't super disappointed. I was surprised. I was like, wow, okay. I thought it was going to be Court of Owls, or I thought it was going to be. Is that maybe that's a different studio?
That's Warner Brothers Montreal.
Montreal. Yeah. Right. So I thought they were doing Batman. I was already kind of confused about it, and then I wasn't really. I'm not a big Superman fan, sorry, but so I wasn't bummed out it wasn't that. And then when they were like, "Oh, we're doing Suicide Squad," I'm like, "Okay, could be good." Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. I lack so many details that I can't come to a solid conclusion about what this even is or what it will be like. I mean, I don't know. As long as they get Troy, as long as they get Troy Baker and Nolan North, they'll be all set, right?
I guarantee it. Yeah. But I don't know, it could have been anybody. Like, anything was more interesting to me. I would have taken a Green Lantern game. I would have taken Superman game,
something interesting
The
and
Flash.
unique. Like
Yeah.
not just
How
more.
about a Bizarro game?
Bad
How about a
guys. But,
Bizarro game?
Why not?
well. Speaking of Bizarro, that poster they had, like everyone's saying, "Oh, it's Superman," except then the moment I saw that picture and like how it had like purple lighting, and then if you look closely, it was like really cracked in on his face. I'm like, "Oh, that's Bizarro," and everyone's like, "No, it's Superman." I'm like, I think it's Bizarro. It could be Bizarro.
Could be.
But,
I've
Bizarro
heard there
wish.
could be some comic book shenanigans going on here, and it's not actually just a Superman. But I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's a multiverse, so there's Superman from a different universe.
I just want an Aquaman game, you know?
What?
Or is
something-
Aquaman cool now? I don't know. I'm not up to speed on that.
I
sort of
want
thing.
kind of because he's played by Jason Momoa, but I do want to say that I would love a Pikmin style Aquaman game. Come on, like that just works. Pikmin style Aquaman game. Come on.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Summon
James,
schools of fish to do your bidding.
Dolphin, you can summon dolphins and kill people.
Yes, and then summon a shark. I mean, it'd be amazing.
You can have a whale like come down on the city and shit.
Just jump on all your enemies. Come on.
That'd be fun.
Where's the creativity, Rocksteady?
Oh,
we're coming up with your ideas for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Mitch?
Sorry, I was going to say, but James, I mean, of course Aquaman's cool now. He's in Fortnite. Of course he's cool. What do you want?
God, of course. Of course.
I saw that.
All
Right, so I'm afraid we're Mitch, you seem to be cutting out. I think we're losing you.
Yeah, I think I'm accidentally.
We're going through a tunnel. All of us at the same time are going through a tunnel.
Yeah, that might disconnect button. Where's the boot button? New rule on this podcast: if Fortnite's mentioned, you're automatically booted.
Yeah, instant ban.
You get a 5-minute time. You get a 5-minute.
Every time you mention Fortnite, put a quid in the jar.
Oh.
I guess I can.
Okay, I'll put all my quids in the jar.
Yeah, I don't have any quids
Oh,
to
look,
give
I've
you,
got
so
0 of them.
I'll give you a penny.
You guys still have coins?
So,
We shouldn't.
You see, like we come at all these. We come with more better ideas in the last 10-15 minutes than like what I'm hearing right now. Like a server Suicide Squad game. I'm not feeling it.
Rocksteady, just hire us. Like we'll make the game for you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. We're just but
I'll handle your social media. I'll do all the memes and stuff. I'll prove to you that you're really cool. I mean, don't worry, I've got it.
We'll get you on top of Fall Guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a better job handling
the
Twitter
exactly.
page. I'll post more than like once every 7 months. You know what I mean? Like I'll at least post something. You know what I mean? It's not that hard, but whatever. Yeah.
Just post a pixel of the Court of Owls logo every day for like a year until you finally got.
Blockbuster just posted on Twitter for the first time in 6 years. So
I saw that.
Well, Blockbuster, yeah.
They don't know what that is. Kids today.
Yeah.
Damn millennials.
I mean, when everybody gets a camera, I'm gonna be the youngest looking one here probably because I just don't age. But these kids,
everybody gets a camera. What?
I'm gonna be the youngest looking one because I have a baby face.
Oh.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah.
You guys have anything else to add about Suicide Squad or WB or anything like that?
I
failed to be. Oh, sorry, you go, Fran.
Yeah, it's just that I can see Suicide Squad taking the Avengers approach of like you go in with 6 of you to do a story mission and you take down a Justice League member, but I just hope it does it right, please.
Right.
Yeah, I just want a good superhero Destiny style game. I could play that all day.
Right, but at least with the Avengers, you can play as Iron Man or Captain America. Who the hell do you play as? Like, is Harley Quinn and Killer Croc like?
Deathstroke would be cool.
Deathstroke. Yeah, that'd be cool. But like, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna be. Are they gonna pick like really cool Batman villains? Can you play like the Riddler or the Joker?
No,
like
Suicide Squad's a very particular. I mean, I guess they could reorganize.
Like, that's what I mean, though. Like.
Okay. I think one thing we haven't addressed or thought of is like, what if there's not even like a story at all? What if it's just like a 4v4 multiplayer game where it's like one team's Suicide Squad, another team's the Justice League?
And
did they spend like 5 years making?
Absolutely, and me. If
my interest would be totally gone.
Just empty Rocksteady's bank account at that point because it's gone.
My 1% of interest in this
Cancel
game would
the
be
game.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I'll drop out my 2% interest.
I'm not excited about this game at all. Like, I'm more excited about the WB Montreal game. just because I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Court of Owls actually
I think
sounds
it-
interesting.
Hmm.
I'm just so
Yeah, I
done.
think
I'm
it's like- I
so
think
done with
after-
service games. I'm so
After
done.
Arkham Knight.
I think
Yeah.
when they're doing the panel at the DC event and they're doing the panel about the game and they say, "Oh, it's a game as a service," you're just gonna hear a collective sigh from the audience.
You're gonna see me on camera.
Well, is there even gonna be an audience? Because I think it isn't it like a whole virtual thing. Yeah.
Fair point.
But
Thanks
no,
for
like, I get what
stepping
you
on my
mean.
joke, Mitch. Jeez.
Shit.
There's gonna be a
Mitch,
collective like
what are you-
F and chat.
Mitch, you're killing us the last 5 minutes. Like, I don't know what's going on down there. But
What Fortnite
I know,
multiplayer?
you're
Yeah.
just killing us.
He said it again. He said it again.
Timeout, 5 minutes.
We have to end the podcast.
Drop James a quid.
Oh,
I'm
actually,
gonna be rich.
Okay.
Alright.
Uh,
Alright, you guys have anything
Money.
more to add, or? Nope.
No.
I think we're good then. Alright, that concludes the podcast, because there's no more topics. If time permits, next week we'll do our top 5 genres. If you never know, though, because this week is going to be super dry, and then all of a sudden it turned into like an hour and a half of a podcast, you know? So you just never know. Alright, guys. You guys have a good night, alright?
All right. Thank you.
Peace. What's up, PlayStation fans? Thank you for watching PS Premiere's podcast. We record every Friday night and upload every podcast at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. If you like what you heard, we appreciate any support by clicking the like button and subscribing.